Read 'em and weep, liberals. Nebraska has become the 27th constitutional carry state. This now means that 65% of the land and 44% of the population is constitutional carry. Let's take a look at this. It's all but a done deal that Nebraska will now allow, that's not good news, because really, does the government have the authority? What is the government anyway? But does the government have the authority to allow you to do something you already have the right to do anyway, as articulated in the Second Amendment? Doesn't it say shall not be infringed? Isn't it a redundancy to pass a state law saying, hey, you can go ahead and carry constitutionally when the Constitution already says that you can carry? And where do our rights come from anyway? They don't come from government. They're not given by government. They can't be taken away by government. That's why they're called inalienable rights. It says Nebraska will allow legal gun owners, it just makes it worse, to carry concealed without a permit by the end of the summer. It's the most controversial bill so far to pass the final round of voting this legislative session. Can you imagine that? You have a natural right. Everybody's got the natural right to defend themselves, and that somehow is controversial. How? It's an issue that has many Nebraskans divided, getting rid of the requirements for the concealed carry permit. Wednesday at the state capitol, one protester was removed from the legislative chamber for an outburst after the vote. A woman yelled, "Shame!" from the balcony and was banned from the capitol. Shame about what? It's a shame that government is getting out of the way and just letting people be free with regard to protecting themselves, with regard to carrying a weapon, whether open or concealed. That's a shame. Could you explain that, lady? The hurdle of a cloture vote, which is just a final vote, a closure vote, just passed with the 33 required votes, and the bill passed with 33 to 14. So it just passed. The bill now heads to Governor Jim Pillen's desk for his signature, and he says he intends to sign it. This is what the governor tweeted. "I'm proud to support LB 77 and Nebraska's constitutional rights. Thank you to the Nebraska legislature for sending this bill to my desk." What he should be saying is, guys, we have a Second Amendment. You have the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. Where's the complexity in this? I don't get it. Could you explain it to me? We need to hire some experts and authorities. We need to hire some scientists to tell me what's going on here. No, it's very simple. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. 4 of the most non-complex words in the English language. State Senator Tom Brewer said Governor Pillen plans to hold a special event this Tuesday to sign this bill into law, which will make LB 77 the first bill signed by the governor this legislative session. After its signing, now stay tuned, because there's two main groups that are expressing great disgust and disdain for this bill, and you can probably guess who they are, but we're going to talk about them in a second. After it's signed, the bill would take effect 3 months after the legislative session ends. So there ain't no constitutional carry in Nebraska till June. It can be signed into law, and if they catch you, if the cops catch you, they're going to arrest you. If they catch you, if they dare catch you exercising your rights, they're going to seize your property and throw you into a cage. It's just amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, hey man, we have 3 more months left, 2 more months, 1 more. We have 1 more week, 1 more day. Oh my gosh, there's 5 more minutes, and then we can carry because the government says we can. Why wouldn't it just be immediate? I mean, besides that, just this aside right here, why isn't the Second Amendment good enough? This kind of stuff right here tells you that the Second Amendment has no teeth. It has no power. It's not the supreme law of the land, because if it was, people would be abiding by it and they wouldn't have to make laws supporting it. If a law that needs support is really no law at all, is it? Even after it becomes law, check this out, because it's not really constitutional carry. There's a caveat. A federal background check is still required to buy a gun in Nebraska. Well, that's not in accordance with the Second Amendment. It says shall not be infringed. What's a background check? Sure looks like an infringement to me. The measure will allow, I hate that word, permit. You got permission now, boy, because the government says you do. It'll allow people 21 and older to carry their guns hidden in their clothing or car without having to pay the extortion fee of $100 for a concealed carry permit or take a gun safety course. The NEGOP has supported the passage of LB 77 from the beginning and was a signature piece of our legislative plan. Our party will always stand for constitutional rights. If you are willing to violate one clause, you are willing to violate them all. Constitutional carry is not just a victory for those who believe in the Second Amendment. Today was a victory for all Nebraskans who value any of their inalienable rights. The government does not give us our rights. Job well done. That's from Todd Watson, political director from the NEGOP. But the Lincoln Police Department ain't none too happy about Nebraska being the 27th constitutional carry state. Here's what they say. They expressed their disappointment regarding the passage of LB 77 on Wednesday with the following statement. These are guys who swore to protect and defend and uphold the Second Amendment, and they're not happy about this. The chief is disappointed in the legislature's decision because the most important factor in making these decisions should be public safety, and that reveals the heart of law enforcement agents and agencies for the most part. They are more concerned with public safety. What is it Patrick Henry said? Guard with jealous attention the public safety? No, he said guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Let's read this again. The chief is disappointed in the legislature's decision to uphold the Second Amendment because the most important factor in making these decisions should be public safety and the men and women who serve our community. The police department is basically saying we only care about ourselves. That's why we got to overturn Terry v. Ohio. Because this right here is officer safety trumps individual rights. That's what they're saying. They don't. It's not that they care about public safety. They care about officer safety, and they don't want just anybody out there exercising their Second Amendment rights. It's going to be dangerous for them. We got to think about the men and women in blue who serve our community. The Nebraska chapter of the group Moms Demand Action said lawmakers are stripping away safety measures by passing these bills. But what did they add? They added rights. They supported rights. All they care about is safety. Well, if you care about safety, then you would want people to exercise their Second Amendment rights, because that's really what it's all about. It's about protecting yourself and protecting your family and putting yourself on the best possible footing in case you engage an aggressor. Listen to what Moms Demand Action says. Nebraska lawmakers have chosen to put politics over protecting our families. How about put rights in place so that we can protect our families? Quote, over the past few weeks, tens of thousands of young people across the country and here in Nebraska walked out of school to demand action on gun safety by their representatives. They demanded that representatives take away more of the rights of innocent people who've harmed no one with their guns. That's what they're saying. But instead, Nebraska lawmakers are actively stripping away rights? No, safety measures. That's what it's all about. It's about safety measures. Well, I'll tell you what, the country's going to be a whole lot safer when they induct the 30th state to become constitutional carry. I think the next one slated is South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina right here. South Carolina is slated to be the next constitutional carry state. That means it'll turn into 67% of the land in this country is constitutional carry, with 45% of the population covered under basically the Second Amendment. Leave your thoughts about this. Well, except for the federal background check, which is that constitutional? You tell me in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I will see you in the next video.